Hi, I've finished an arc. It came out on the 13th, so I suppose it's not really an arc anymore, is it? And it's, excuse me, I've really just, I'm rushing about trying to get this done before I go to work. It's called Making a Killing by Cara Hunter. And I read Cara Hunter's standalone Murder in the Family a while back, and I loved it. This one is actually in the DCI Fawley series. And it's a follow-up. It's the seventh in the series, and it's a follow-up to book one. Now, I didn't feel at all disadvantaged from not having read the series and not having read book one. It didn't make any difference at all. I'd have gone into it quite happily. I could go into it quite happily because everything that I needed was in there. As I said, I read Murder in the Family, which was a standalone, and Nick Vincent, the producer of this programme Infamous that looks at cold cases, he appears in this book. There's a sort of link, which I thought was quite a nice touch. And like the standalone, this makes use of texts, it makes use of emails, it makes use of newspaper clippings. Although the formatting for Kindle, because it was an ARC, the formatting didn't work. For the newspaper clippings, everything else was fine, but for the newspaper clippings, all these little clippings that they used, the formatting on the Kindle just didn't work. It sort of, I don't know. I could work them out in the end, but the little newspaper clippings. But in a book, you're not going to have that problem, are you? It's just the ARC. It's an ARC. When I received it, it was an ARC, so the formatting hadn't quite sorted itself out. Anyway, anybody who's read the series will know the characters. I didn't. I came to them new. And this book it links back to book one. And the case in book one, the case of Daisy Mason. Daisy Mason's mother was jailed for her murder 8 years previous. Daisy was 8. And that was book one. Even though there's no body found. You learn all this through the book, through this book, so it doesn't matter that you've not read the other one. Anyway, in this one, a body is discovered, and with this body, there is DNA that belongs to Daisy Mason, which means that 8 years ago, Daisy Mason didn't die, not if her DNA is in this crime scene. So, DCI Fawley is brought back, his team is brought back, because the case now needs looking at again. It needs revising. They need to go back over everything and see what did they miss. They also need to find Daisy Mason, because why is her DNA in this crime scene? Is she another victim, or is she the person who did it? This girl, she's 16. She was 8 when she was supposedly murdered by her mother. 8 years on, we've got a 16-year-old girl. So the case, they have to go back and interview everybody that they interviewed before. They have to revise. They have to look at things that they might have missed. They also have to there's also a parallel case is this murder, because so they don't know who's murdered. Is there a link to Daisy? They've got all these things, all these strands going on, this cold case and then this fresh case. So you've got twists and turns, and you've got suspense. You've also got the inclusion of a shadow journal, which is an interesting way of getting inside a character's mind, seeing how they tick. That was an interesting thing. You are reading. It's almost as though you're reading this person's journal in these little sections. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed meeting DCI Fawley for the first time. He's a man with... A lot of detectives have got baggage, haven't they? They're either drunkards or failed marriages or things like that. You know, they've always got a lot of angst. He seems very well balanced. He's got a little girl, Lily. He seems a happy family man. And he's got a strong personality, but he is not afraid to take ownership for any mistakes that might have been made 8 years ago. Yeah, he's not afraid to hold up his hand and say, okay, my team, we might have got it wrong. I enjoyed meeting his team as well. And I'm very interested, considering what happened in book 7, I'm interested to see what she does if she does a book 8. What she does in book 8, whether we jump ahead. I'd be interested to see what she does in book 8. I might even go back and pick up the others, but I know what's happened in book 1 now, so maybe I won't. But does that make sense? Anyway, I had a good time reading it. It came out, it's only just come out, so Cara Hunter's Making a Killing, the 7th in the DCI Fawley series. But it doesn't matter if you just come into the series in book 7, because I didn't feel I'd missed out at all. So, happy reading. Take care.